On you.
A Delta Force team fights for survival as an Air Force drone pilot becomes its eyes in the sky.
You are having a very pleasant day.
I am your eyes in the sky and the bringer of doom.
Is this your first mission in theater, JTAC?
Second. We're going after a CIA asset that's been captured.
I got movement.
We got a situation.
It's not here. It's here.
Some of Southeast Asia's most violent extremist organizations are based in the Sulu Sea, Philippines. These organizations are being targeted by intelligence services, and governments regularly conduct clandestine operations against them. Please don't forget to share, subscribe, and tap the like.
Over in 5.
I'm ready.
Subtle.
Okay.
Hell are these guys?
Local boy. You gotta get your ass on the move, son.
Come on, soldier.
I get it.
Reaper, you there?
Weapons away. Hang in there. Okay?
Blackbird, can you stay in the area?
Yeah, get it. Go forward.
Militia.
Yo, hand over.
FPT, 12 o'clock. Incoming!
One such operation is underway from the Palawan Air Base in the Philippines. Captain Eddie Reaper Grimm, Russell Crowe, a U.S. Air Force drone pilot supported by Staff Sergeant Nia Branson, Chica Ikagwe, provides air support from a Reaper to a U.S. Army Delta Force team sent to rescue a CIA spy in the southern Philippines. The CIA agent was gathering intelligence on Alexander Petrov, a Russian arms dealer and former KGB agent. The crew includes Master Sergeant John Sugar Sweet, Sergeant J.J. Kinney, he is the JTAC, and his job is to guide the drone to its targets on the ground, Sergeant Bishop and Sergeant Abel, Luke Hemsworth. Nia is getting married and wants Eddie to walk her down the aisle, which she is unable to do as she keeps getting interrupted. Eddie is also getting calls from his pregnant wife, Lucy. Eddie wants Lucy's sister to take her to the hospital in case she goes into labor, as he is on a mission. He leaves his phone in the common area, as he is not allowed to take it in the mission room, and asks the other guys, including CO Colonel Duz Packett, Daniel McPherson, to come and get him in case his wife calls him on his mobile phone. The base is busy watching a basketball game on TV. The team lands on a beach and treks 8 kilometers to their target area. As the team gets close to their target, there is a systems malfunction, and the drone's visual data connection to the control room is disrupted. As such, Eddie and Kinney are blind as they cannot see enemy locations on the ground. Eddie pulls the Reaper drone back to the Palawan base for repairs, and there are no other UAVs in the air to provide cover.
Translation.
I need someone to cover.
So why are you still bitching about it? Therein lies the problem. Barbaric nature. At the end of the day, when technology fails, the other side of those rocks.
Roger. Stand by.
What the hell's an oink-oink? Ah, for fuck's sake.
The team reaches the headquarters compound of Abu Sayyaf and positively identifies Alexander Petrov as well as Saeed Hashimi, the head of Abu Sayyaf. Hashimi is buying his guns from Petrov. After fixes, the Reaper drone reaches back on station. The team watches as Hashimi turns on Petrov and beheads his wife. The team orders the Reaper to drop a bomb when Hashimi moves to behead Petrov's son. Hashimi is also shot in the leg by the U.S. team.
But this sure looks like our guy.
That's Petrov, all right. Local militia? Don't know. More guys with guns in town.
Yo, drone's fixed. Hand over in 5.
I'm ready.
Petrov.
buzz comes from somewhere. Hashimi's a terrorist.
She's getting stranger danger vibes for sure. Sitting in a tree. Yeah, this guy's definitely.
Oh, shit!
Fuck.
Run!
Oh, fuck.
I was engaging with civilians requesting updated ROE over.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck me.
What the fuck?
اطرف أنا الشيطان راح شلك روحك من مطرح يا أخو شر. Wabba for kid's head. What the fuck?
جيب الولد وحطه هان.
101 by Hellfire missile copied.
Fuck this sugar. I ain't watching this asshole.
Kenny, drop that fucking bomb.
Target acquired.
Diversion.
Weapons away. Impact 30 seconds. Run, kid. Run.
Guys.
Abel, you're taking center. Bishop, extreme. Kenny, you've got hostiles directly below you. Do not move. Do not even breathe. I need sights on targets.
Abel, Bishop.
On 1, 3, 2, 1.
Abu Sayyaf responds with RPG attacks, which strike the team, before Kenny can ask Eddie for a missile strike against the terrorists.
Bishop, move your position! Got it!
It'll help him.
Kitty, I need you to lay down.
We got another situation. RPG, 12 o'clock. Incoming! Motherfucker!
Stay still, asshole.
Ryan, buddy. Okay. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. I got you. I'm good. You're good. Man. Abel is down. Abel is down. Oh, fuck. Abel, no. Fuck. Alpha 1, this is Playboy. Abel's down.
Kenny, listen to me. I need you to stay focused, Sergeant. Get yourself together. He's dead. We are taking heavy fire from two-man RPG teams.
Wait, what about Abel?
Abel is dead.
We're taking RPG fire on the southeast side of the compound, 200 meters south of my position. Give me the...
We have eyes on the target. 1 by Blue 118. Weapons away.
Where's that bomb, Sergeant?
Impact 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
RPG, incoming!
Fuck, Sugar. Sugar, Fisher.
Did he pop the smoke?
Fuck.
You got eyes on it?
Lost.
Playboy, do you copy?
I see him.
After a firefight breaks out against the Abu Sayyaf, Sergeant J.J. Kinney, Liam Hemsworth, a young Air Force TACP, callsign Playboy, attached to the Delta Force team as its JTAC, is seemingly the only survivor and is directed to an extraction point, relying only on the Reaper's remote air support. Eddie constantly talks to Kinney on the satellite phone and keeps him moving, while helping him avoid hostile forces in his path.
Hey, Playboy.
Good news. Helicopter is inbound to the evac point. The cavalry is on the way.
You gotta move, man. Let's go. Come on, soldier.
Get up and go!
Truck on the road, half a click.
Reaper. I think I'm hearing a truck.
He's right. I have...
East and west.
I have contact from the east.
One by Hellfire, air to ground, 114 standing by.
K9 coming your way.
Safe to assume.
Looks like he's coming towards Lassie.
Do not move. Fuck. Playboy. Playboy.
Do not move.
Sige na, tayo na. Sige na, tayo.
Playboy,
You are clear tracking 500 meters to your north.
there's a path up that ridge on your 1 o'clock.
I'm all right.
You're getting really close now, man. Just keep up the pace. Good work.
Reaper, how's my path to the LZ?
Playboy 06, this is Blackbird 25, approaching LZ from east.
Clear.
Path is clear.
EA 3 mics, over.
Copy.
Time to get the hell out of Dodge, Playboy.
Hey, drop me a line next time you're in Vegas. I have a solid hookup for Disney on Ice.
Once Kinney arrives, he is intercepted by the Abu Sayyaf, depleting the ammunition of Grimm's drone, consisting of AGM-114 Hellfire and BLU-118 munitions, and forcing the endangered extraction helicopter to leave.
Contact! I'm hit!
Contact Blackbird. I have multiple targets around the LZ. Better move your ass.
Negative, Playboy! LZ is...
Blackbird, can you stay in the area until we can find a secure LZ?
too high! Back to you as fast as we can!
West Ridge. Contact Playboy. 3 more trucks.
Reaper!
Impact 20 seconds.
Hellfire, aircraft 114.
Target is down. Now get the fuck out of there.
Jesus Christ, I'm pinned down! Fuck! I'm taking fire!
This ain't done. Got another truck coming in from the west.
Drop everything you have!
Entering Point Alpha. Coming in on an east-west heading.
He's gotta turn his strobe off.
Roger that, Horn 1. I'm 200 meters north of target grid. Keep all fire south of target grid.
Playboy, this is Hornet 1.
Grid, I say again, all fire south.
Copy that. Be advised, this will be danger
Yes,
close.
yes!
3, 2,
Cleared high!
Point coming around for another run. Copy that. This run is going...
Still taking fire from what?
Copy, Point.
Yeah, I'm doing a Starbucks run. Colonel Pack into springing.
Have you lost your mind?
Airman, leave!
Copy that. This run is going...
Give me some fire on the west grid!
Eyes on that Hornet.
You're cleared high!
West! West!
Confirm. West or east, be danger close. We still do not have visual on be danger...
It's fine! Let's drop!
Be advised, this is danger close.
A Hornet fighter aircraft arrives on station to provide cover fire from the air, but the terrorists have surrounded Kinney from all sides. The Hornet drops its ammunition close to Kinney to kill the attackers and flies away. Trying to reach another extraction point, which is on the other side of a tall hill, Kinney falls down a hill and loses his rifle, runs out of ammunition for his pistol, and then gets captured.
There's a clearing 2 clicks northeast of your position.
Say northeast.
A-firm, Playboy.
This northeast is up a big fucking hill.
I'm sorry, but that is the closest LZ option we have.
ETA to the alternate LZ.
Is 90 mics.
Yeah, no doubt. Hang in there, okay?
How you doing, man?
Pretty gassed.
Sorry about the failed evac, man.
Copy.
Yeah.
Don't trust Air Force captains. Traditionally, we are full of shit.
Pine Gander, son of a...
20 years. Playboy, do you copy?
Playboy, you copy?
Fuck, man. You okay? You hurt?
Yeah, I'm here. Slid halfway down the fucking mountain.
What happened?
Yeah, just my pride.
Reaper, I've got movement in front of Playboy, 100 meters northwest. 3 armed hostiles.
Zoom in.
Playboy, you have 3 hostiles heading your way. Find cover.
Scan forward. Keep me with him.
Copy.
Got him?
I'm looking. He's heading downstream. I got him.
Requesting permission to stay in the chair until we get the soldier home.
Get it done, you two.
One of his squad mates, Master Sergeant John Sugar Sweet, Milo and Amelia, turns out to be alive and rescues Kinney while telling him Sergeant Bishop, Ricky Whittle, was taken prisoner in Abu Sayyaf's base in a series of caves at their initial mission location.
You injured? Look at me. An RPG exploded on your position. Near. Here, take this. Here, put it in here. But you gotta dig, okay? It's not here. It's not here. It's here. Here, take this. Here. Come on, you follow me, Sergeant? Still have your battery? I lost it in the fall. Let me see your knife. Come on, you piece of shit.
Playboy, where the fuck are you?
With Alpha 1, we're headed back to the initial AO.
No.
We're not going for the asset. One of our team members was captured. We're going in together.
We're gonna need planes on standby. ETA to target area 60 mics. We'll confirm grid then. Over.
Playboy.
Lost comms.
Fuck.
What's the plan? Drop some bombs, create a diversion. You're the J-Tech, you tell me.
Space them out 15 minutes apart while we go in.
Sounds good.
Using Sweet's radio, Kinney contacts Grimm, who schedules 3 bombings to hit the base. The first 2 bombings will be diversionary, and the third one will destroy the entire network of caves, each 15 minutes apart, before Grimm and Branson are forced by their superiors to take a leave for having exceeded their duty day. Kinney and Sweet raid one of Sayaf's facilities before being captured and taken to their prison.
What's our time? 20. I need you focused, head on a swivel. If somebody comes from behind us, you say 6. If you see something I don't, you say contact left, contact right. 2 guys in the balcony. 1 guy in the tent. You ready? Nope. You? Always. Let's do it.
Good? Jam. Go, 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 go.
On me.
On you.
Grenade! Down!
Hey, Shug.
Hey, how you doing, Bishop?
Is your idea of a rescue mission? You look like ass.
Sweet is executed right as the first superficial bombing hits, and Kinney is taken to be tortured, where the rebel leader Saeed Hashimi, Robert Rabaya, does not believe his warning about the upcoming bombings. When the bombs hit, Kinney survives due to having been dunked in a water tub, while his captors are caught in the flames.
Alright, let's fucking rock and roll. Zoom out 400 meters. Bombs away. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, impact.
J-Sock. Good?
Fuck's again.
The asset, I think.
Kinney grabs a machete and kills the surviving leader, taking his satellite phone and calling Nellis Air Force Base for Grimm to call off the third bombing before the battery runs out. The base crew, distracted by a March Madness game, dismisses Kinney's call and redirects him to Grimm's private phone. Grimm does not answer, being in a call with his very pregnant wife while grocery shopping. So Kinney leaves a voicemail and leaves seeking the other prisoners. Returning to Bishop and searching for a way out, they also find the CIA operative, whom Grimm and Branson had been lied to that he was found elsewhere by another agency's operation. At the grocery store checkout, Grimm hears Kinney's voicemail and immediately leaves, trying to call Nellis while driving to the base. As no one answers, Grimm is forced to rush to the control room and order the B-1 Lancer pilot to abort the bombing, right as it flies in front of Kinney, Bishop, and the CIA agent reaching the cave's entrance.
We have visual. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Phone 01, abort! Phone 01, abort! You copy?
What are you doing?
Are they copy?
Yeah.
Zoom in to the caves. The operator still in the target area.
Bullshit.
As the soldiers are finally extracted in the Philippines, Grimm complains to the rest of the base crew and his superiors that 3 men nearly died because they were too distracted to hear their calls, despite being repeatedly asked to pay attention to the phone because of his pregnant wife, and he smashes the break room's main television in anger. Afterwards, he convenes with Branson in a hangar, where she asks him to walk her down the aisle in her wedding, and he agrees and leads her in a dance.
An unrelenting desire to push yourself harder and further than anyone could think possible. Pushing ourselves into those cold, dark corners. Where the bad things fight. We wanted that fight at the highest volume. A loud fight. The loudest, coldest, darkest, most unpleasant of the unpleasant fights.
In 2005, Marcus Luttrell was a Navy SEAL serving in the Middle East. He's about to be deployed to Afghanistan for a special mission, along with half a dozen of his teammates. Luttrell is a proud supporter of the War on Terror and a great admirer of President George W. Bush, a true Texan, just like him. On his flight to Afghanistan, Luttrell thinks about his relationship with the American military. For as long as he can remember, he's been a big, tough kid, and he's long wanted to serve in the military. Growing up in Texas with his twin brother Morgan Luttrell, Luttrell was raised to be strong, confident, and brave. Local ex-Marines would teach him how to fight and fire a gun. As a young man, Luttrell signed up for the Navy SEALs, the most challenging branch of the military. As part of his training, Luttrell had to attend a rigorous training camp, during which he worked harder than he'd ever worked in his life. Under the tutelage of the tough but fair Inspector Reno Alberto, Luttrell bulks up and learns how to conduct himself on land and in the water. The most challenging part of Luttrell's training is the legendary Hell Week, the period during which SEAL recruits are worked exceptionally hard, forbidden from sleeping for long periods of time, and given little to no food. While dozens of recruits give up on their dreams of becoming Marines via the symbolic act of ringing a tiny bell, Luttrell stays strong and survives Hell Week. For the rest of his time in SEAL training, Luttrell learns about parachuting and firing guns, and passes courses that train him to act as a medic for his fellow soldiers. Luttrell officially graduates from SEAL training in early 2002. By this time, the American military is deploying to the Middle East in response to the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, engineered by Osama bin Laden, the head of Al-Qaeda. Luttrell is hot for revenge and looks forward to fighting the ungodly, wicked terrorists who planned the attacks. As he sees it, the American military needs to use aggressive tactics to defeat Al-Qaeda, as well as the terrorist organization known as the Taliban, which is believed to be cooperating with Al-Qaeda. Luttrell has no patience for figures in the liberal media who criticize the American war effort for being too harsh and unethical. Luttrell deploys to Bahrain for a short time, where he sees firsthand the widespread opposition to America in the Muslim world, especially in the Middle East. In 2005, he deploys to Afghanistan, where Luttrell believes terrorists planned the September 11th attacks. In Afghanistan, Luttrell works closely with his friends Lieutenant Michael Patrick Murphy, or Mikey, Petty Officer Danny Dietz, and Matthew Gene Axelson, or Axe, among other members of SEAL Team 10. The team's main duties include searching the Hindu Kush Mountains for wandering Taliban soldiers and tracking down important Taliban commanders. Luttrell, Danny, Mikey, and Axe are deployed on a secret mission known as Operation Red Wing. As a part of this mission, they're sent into the Hindu Kush Mountains in search of a dangerous Taliban leader named Ben Sharmak. Sharmak is responsible for killing many American soldiers, and he commands a vast army of Taliban troops. Because of Sharmak's power, it's imperative that Luttrell and his teammates have the element of surprise. In an ordinary fight, they'd be impossibly outnumbered. Late at night, the SEALs land near the village where Sharmak is suspected to be living and stake out the area. The next day, they cross paths with a group of Afghan goat herds, posing a major challenge to the mission. If the SEALs let the goat herds go, there's a good chance that the goat herds will either tell Taliban soldiers about the SEALs, or they'll be tortured and forced to reveal what they know. Nevertheless, Luttrell and Mikey are reluctant to murder innocent people, while Axe wants to kill them and Danny doesn't voice an opinion. In the end, the SEALs vote to let the goat herds go free. Within just a few hours, dozens of Taliban soldiers show up in the mountains, no doubt sent there by the goat herds. The SEALs are put in an impossible position. They fight back, killing many Taliban soldiers, but they're so badly outnumbered that they have no choice but to retreat.
Immediate URF troops in contact! Fuck!
Gas the fucking radio, we're moving!
Roger that!
Jumping down the side of the mountain again and again. In the conflict, Luttrell's 3 fellow SEALs are murdered.
Come on. Fucking strap. Get him up. Get him up.
Luttrell tries to care for his men since he's the team medic, but he loses his medical supplies in a fall down the mountain. In his moment of crisis, Luttrell prays to God for mercy. Amazingly, Luttrell is able to hold onto his rifle during his fall, and then he's able to hide from the Taliban troops.
I'm gonna make the call.
Sorry, Mike.
For what?
Moving, Murphy, moving!
I am the Reaper.
We need immediate air support.
Meanwhile, responding to a distress signal put out by Mikey shortly before his death, the military sends a helicopter full of SEALs to assist in the rescue. However, the Taliban shoot down the helicopter, killing everyone on board. Luttrell's leg has been badly wounded in a grenade explosion and he's cracked his vertebrae. He's losing a lot of blood. He sends out a distress signal and then attempts to search for water. Back in the United States, it's widely reported that all 4 Marines involved in Operation Red Wing are dead, devastating Luttrell's parents and his 2 brothers, Morgan and Scotty. Luttrell crawls up the side of the mountain, at several points falling back down and further injuring himself. However, he manages to climb up the mountain and find a waterfall. While he's drinking, he realizes that there are 3 Afghan men pointing guns at him. The 3 men mean him no harm, however. They are Pashtuns, an ethnic group that lives primarily in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Luttrell explains that the Pashtuns have an ancient custom, lokai, that requires them to take care of people in need, even if it means risking their own lives. The leader of 3 men, a doctor named Sarawa, has Luttrell carried back to his village, Sabrai, and treats his wounds. Luttrell is terrified but realizes he has no choice but to go along with the Pashtuns' offer of help. In Sabrai, Luttrell befriends a man named Mohammed Gulab, the son of the wise elder who runs the village. With Gulab and his father's help, Luttrell is hidden and protected from the Taliban forces. Luttrell later learns that the Taliban are careful to respect the Pashtuns' communities for fear of losing valuable allies. Gulab's father carries a message to an American military base 2 miles away, explaining that Luttrell is alive. After the Taliban attempt to raid the village and kill Luttrell, Gulab decides that it's no longer safe for Luttrell to stay there. He leads Luttrell out of the village and into the mountains, where they come face to face with Ben Sharmak and his forces. Sharmak orders Gulab to give up Luttrell, or else Sharmak will murder Gulab's entire family. However, Gulab continues to protect Luttrell.
How you doing this to me?
Sir, we have a verified letter from Marcus Luttrell seeking assistance.
While Gulab and Luttrell are wandering through the forest, they cross paths with a group of American Rangers who've been searching for Luttrell, responding to the emergency beacon he activated. The Rangers have been searching for Luttrell for days and had begun to think he was dead. They carry Luttrell and Gulab away from the village and back to an American military base. There, Luttrell and Gulab part ways. It's an emotional goodbye for Luttrell, who has no words to convey his gratitude to Gulab for saving his life. On the military base, Luttrell receives medical treatment for his wounds. He's eventually sent back to America, where he reunites with his family and friends. He also begins to come to terms with the realities of Operation Red Wing. He's the lone survivor of the mission. Luttrell travels across the country, visiting the relatives of his deceased teammates and offering his condolences. Luttrell is proud to have served the American military and feels certain that, if given the option to go back in time, he'd volunteer for the SEALs once again, without a second's hesitation. Thanks for watching. A special operations commander leads his team into the Nigerian jungle in order to rescue a doctor who will only join them if they agree to save 70 refugees too.
Go. You got it. Go. Go.
Keep your eye on the package.
Roger that. Hold it.
This is you serious?
Hang on, we're here!
Navy SEAL Lieutenant A.K. Waters and his elite squadron of tactical specialists are forced to choose between their duty and their humanity, between following orders by ignoring the conflict that surrounds them or finding the courage to follow their conscience and protect a group of innocent refugees. When the democratic government of Nigeria collapses and the country is taken over by a ruthless military dictator, Waters, a fiercely loyal and hardened veteran, is dispatched on a routine mission to retrieve a Doctors Without Borders physician, Dr. Lena Kendricks. Dr. Kendricks, an American citizen by marriage, is tending to the victims of the ongoing civil war at a Catholic mission in a remote village. When Waters arrives, however, Dr. Kendricks refuses to leave unless he promises to help deliver the villagers to political asylum at the nearby border. If they are left behind, they will be at the mercy of the enormous rebel army. Waters is under strict orders from his commanding officer, Captain Bill Rhodes, to remain disengaged from the conflict. But as he and his men witness the brutality of the rebels firsthand, they are won over to Dr. Kendricks's cause and place their lives at risk by agreeing to escort the villagers on a perilous trek through the dense jungle. As they move through the countryside on foot, Waters' team, experts at evasion and concealment, are inexplicably and ferociously pursued by an army of rebels. They are confounded until they discover that, among the refugees, is the sole survivor of the country's previous ruling family, whom the rebels have been ordered to eliminate at all costs. Waters and his small band of soldiers must weigh the life of one man against their own and the refugees they feel obliged to protect. A montage of news footage illustrating a violent coup that is taking place in Nigeria, overthrowing the presidential family and establishing a dictatorship under the rebel general Yakubu. The Fulani rebels then begin a violent ethnic cleansing campaign against the Igbo tribes in the southern region. We then join a squad of SH-60B Seahawk helicopters on approach to the USS Harry S. Truman off the coast of Africa, and a news reporter on the flight deck reporting on the coup taking place. His report is interrupted by the news of the whole presidential family being assassinated by rebel forces. Lieutenant Waters, Bruce Willis, and his team of Navy SEALs disembark from a helicopter, returning from a mission to extract American citizens from the embassy. They are greeted by Captain Bill Rhodes on the deck, who immediately informs them that they'll need to be reinserted to extract a critical personality immediately. After refitting for the next mission, eating, and having their wounds tended by the medic, they meet in the ship's briefing room to get the details of their mission. They're instructed that they will halo jump over Cameroon and into the jungle outside of a small Catholic mission, where they will find Dr. Lena Fiore Kendricks, Monica Bellucci, an American citizen by marriage. Their secondary mission is to extract the priest and 2 nuns who run the mission if they are willing to go with them. Once they have their package, they are to make a 12-kilometer hike to the designated extraction point, where they'll be flown out by helicopter. The mission begins precisely as planned, with the SEAL team dropping from the aircraft and free-falling over the target area. After forcibly having a young Nigerian woman lead the SEALs to Kendricks, Waters informs Kendricks of the rebel company approaching the mission, and that their orders are to extract U.S. personnel. Kendricks refuses to leave the mission without the people under her care. Waters contacts Rhodes to explore their options, and after a short and ambiguous conversation, he concedes to the doctor that they will take the refugees that can move under their own power with them. Kendricks agrees and immediately begins to round up every able-bodied refugee to make the hike. Irritated and behind schedule, the SEALs start to move out with the refugees after daybreak. Their journey proves to be slow and hindered, as guiding 40 injured and wounded refugees is a difficult task. After night has fallen, they decide to take a short break to allow the refugees to rest and give Dr. Kendricks time to administer medication to those that need it. Waters has his team set up a defensive perimeter around the refugees. Moments after the perimeter is set, guerrilla rebels are rapidly approaching their position, with Waters stealthily killing a straggling tail gunner. Dr. Kendricks expresses her concern to Waters that the rebels are headed for the mission, but Waters is determined to carry out his orders, and they continue on their way. They finally reach their landing zone and contact the helicopters that are en route. When the choppers land, Waters' initial plan becomes clear as the SEALs suddenly turn on the refugees and hold them at gunpoint. Waters forces Dr. Kendricks onto the helicopter, and the SEAL team collapses back for a swift extraction. The refugees are left stranded in the middle of the jungle without any protection against rebel forces.
We saw this on the way in.
During the flight back to the Truman, the helicopter crew and SEALs pass over the mission and discover that it's been raided and destroyed just as Kendricks had predicted. Feeling a deep conviction, Waters orders the helicopter to turn around and regroup with the refugees. The SEALs decide on the spot to escort the refugees to the Cameroon border. During the trip, the SEALs discover that they are being tracked by a large body of rebel soldiers while using satellite scans of the area. Their pursuers are having mysterious success in their tracking of the SEALs. As they continuously attempt to escape and evade the rebels,
Rebels?
I told you I don't know.
Dr. Kendricks.
they encounter a small village that is in the process of being destroyed and the residents executed, sexually assaulted, and murdered by rebel soldiers. Realizing that they have an opportunity to stop it, Waters orders the refugees to remain on the high ground while his team assaults the village. They execute their plan with surgical precision, eliminating the threat.
It's okay.
Action.
During the aftermath of the assault, the SEAL team becomes morally conscious after seeing the after effects of the atrocities. While continuing on their way, Slow determines that somebody within the group must be transmitting a signal that's allowing the rebels to identify their location and close in with incredible speed. It is then revealed that there is a surviving member of the presidential family in their party, Samuel Azuka's son, Arthur, and that it is very important for the rebels to ensure his death. A newer refugee is discovered in the group to have a transmitter on his person. He attempts to flee, but is shot dead. Waters is angry at Dr. Kendricks because she knew all along about Arthur's true identity, yet never informed him. The SEALs unanimously continue to escort the refugees, no matter what the cost is. A massive firefight breaks out between the SEALs and the hundreds of rebels hidden in the trees. Soon the SEALs form a defensive line against the rebels as they order the refugees to retreat to the tree line where the Cameroon border is in sight. Z radios into the Truman for air support, and 2 FA-18 Hornets take off from the flight deck en route to their location. The SEALs continue to hold the line as they fall back to the refugees' location.
I got hit.
Damn it! Open up those blue buttons! Everybody
However, the overwhelming firepower of the rebels claims the lives of Slow, Flea, Lake, and Silk. The refugees provide a small amount of cover fire as the remaining SEALs fall back into the reeds. During the battle, Waters, Red, and Z are all wounded. The planes forming the airstrike radio into their location. The SEALs mark the ground with a smoke grenade and order the pilots to fire on everything between the tree line and the smoke. Arthur and Dr. Kendricks are scrambling to the gate when they hear the thunderous roar of their birds on approach. They are terrified to see the planes drop a substantial payload on the rebel fighters. With the battlefield engulfed in fire, Arthur and Kendricks fear that the airstrike wiped out Waters' team. Waters, Z, Doc, and Red emerge from the grass as helicopters land on the other side of the Cameroon border as Captain Rhodes orders the guards to open the gate and let the SEALs and refugees in. A group of Marines then escort the SEALs to the helicopters, where their wounds are tended to. Dr. Kendricks says her goodbyes to her friends and departs on the same helicopter with Waters. The final scene depicts the refugees recognizing Arthur as the tribal king and rightful heir to Nigeria, and he raises his hand, exclaiming, "Freedom!" as his fellow Nigerians celebrate around him. In the closing title, we see the quote, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing," by Edmund Burke. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to share and subscribe.
How'd you get down, son?
It's us.
Get up.
Help! Help me!
But you're... I'm coming back, okay?
And young men stumble and fall, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength.
In 1929, a young Desmond Doss, Andrew Garfield, almost murders his younger brother Hal while growing up close to Lynchburg, Virginia. Doss and Hal were fighting, and Doss hit Hal with a metal bar on his head. Hal stopped breathing for a few seconds and was revived by their father. This experience and his Seventh-day Adventist upbringing reinforced Desmond's belief in the commandment, "Thou shalt not kill." The brothers are adventurous and brave, while their father Tom talks to the graves of his dead WWI buddies every day and tells them about the events in their community. Tom is married to Bertha and is very abusive and violent towards her. 15 years later, Doss takes a man injured by a car to the hospital and meets a nurse, Dorothy Schuta, Teresa Palmer. Doss had saved the man's life by making a tourniquet out of his belt, which stopped the profuse bleeding from the man's severed artery in the thighs. Doss keeps going back to the hospital to meet Dorothy and eventually musters the courage to ask her out. They enter into a relationship. Doss is head over heels in love with Dorothy and cannot take his eyes off her. And Doss tells her of his desire to do medical work. He was inspired when the doctor told him that he saved the man's life, and Doss felt good about it. At the outbreak of World War II, Doss is motivated to enlist in the Army. Hal has already enlisted in the Army and argues that the Army protects families back home, so it does not count as killing. His father, Tom, Hugo Weaving, a troubled World War I veteran, is deeply upset by the decision. Tom displays symptoms of PTSD due to his memories of the death of his friends on the battlefield. Tom is adamant that there is no way that a thinker like Doss will survive the war. Because he is a conscientious objector, Doss intends to serve as a combat medic. Before leaving for Fort Jackson, South Carolina, he asks for Dorothy's hand in marriage, and she accepts. Dorothy gives Doss her copy of the Bible and asks him to keep it close to his heart. Doss is placed under the command of Sergeant Howell, Vince Vaughn, at Fort Jackson. He excels physically but becomes an outcast among his fellow soldiers for refusing to handle a rifle and train on Saturdays. Other soldiers include Grease Nolan, Ben Mingay, Tex Lewis, Michael Sheesby, Vito Rinelli, Firas Durrani, Milt Hollywood Zane, Luke Pegler, Smitty Riker, Ralph Morgan, Damian Tomlinson, Lucky Ford, Milo Gibson, Randall Teach Fuller, Richard Pyros, Corporal Jessup, Ben O'Toole, and Andy Gould Walker, Goran D. Clute. During basic training, Doss refuses to carry firearms and says that he was never meant to be sent to a rifle company and he has volunteered for the medical corps. Captain Glover refuses to transfer Doss, even thought he won't kill anyone or work on Saturdays. Colonel Stelzer, Richard Roxburgh, orders that Doss can serve as a medic if he completes all other areas of his basic training. Howell and Captain Glover, Sam Worthington, attempt to discharge Doss for psychiatric reasons, but fails. The camp doctor reports that Doss has unique religious views, but this does not qualify for a Section 8 discharge. Howell then torments Doss by putting him through grueling labor, intending to get Doss to leave of his own accord. Howell tells the rest of the company about Doss's special requirements and tells them that they should not depend on Doss to save their lives in battle. Howell believes that Doss's beliefs will cost American lives. Smitty confronts Doss in the barracks and calls him a coward. Despite being beaten one night by his fellow soldiers, he refuses to identify his attackers and continues training. They complete basic training and are released on leave, during which Doss intends to marry Dorothy, but his refusal to carry a firearm leads to an arrest for insubordination by his company commander, Lieutenant Colonel Cooney, Matt Nabel. As a result, Doss misses his wedding to Dorothy. Dorothy visits Doss in jail and tries to convince him to plead guilty so that he can be released without charge, but Doss refuses to compromise his beliefs. At his trial, Doss pleads not guilty, but before he is sentenced, his father barges into the tribunal with a letter from a former commanding officer, Brigadier General Musgrove, stating that his son's pacifism is protected by an act of Congress. The charges against Doss are dropped, and he and Dorothy are married. Doss is given permission to head into a field of battle without a single weapon to protect himself or others. In May 1945, Doss's unit is assigned to the 77th Infantry Division and deployed to the Pacific Theater. During the Battle of Okinawa, Doss's unit is informed that they are to relieve the 96th Infantry Division, which was tasked with ascending and securing the Maida Escarpment, Hacksaw Ridge. The 96th tried to take Hacksaw Ridge 6 times and were thrown back all times. Nothing was left of the 96th after the 6th attempt. In the initial fight, both sides sustain heavy losses. Hacksaw Ridge is on top of a cliff. The naval batteries bombard the ridge before the army starts climbing. The enemy is well protected in bunkers and not impacted by the shelling. As soon as the army reaches the ridge, they are hit by heavy machine gun fires and grenades. The army men are slaughtered. The unit gathers itself and starts to fight back 1 foot at a time. The Japanese suffered high losses as well. After a brutal fight, 2 enemy bunkers are destroyed, and the U.S. forces have a foothold on the ridge. The Japanese fight to the last man and no one surrenders. Meanwhile, Doss successfully saves several soldiers, including those with severe injuries. The Americans bivouac for the night, and Doss spends the night in a foxhole with Smitty, Luke Bracey, a squad mate who was the first to call Doss a coward. Doss reveals that his aversion to holding a firearm stems from nearly shooting his drunken father, who threatened his mother, Bertha, Rachel Griffiths, with a gun. Smitty apologizes for doubting his courage and the two make amends. The next morning, the Japanese launch a massive counterattack and drive the Americans off the escarpment. Smitty is killed, and many Americans, including Howell and several of Doss's squad mates, are injured and left on the battlefield. Doss hears the cries of the dying soldiers and decides to run back into the carnage.
He's gonna kick it real quick, Ralph. We're gonna get you shifted.
He starts carrying wounded soldiers to the cliff's edge and rappelling them down by rope, each time praying to save one more.
One more. Yeah, we get one more.
The arrival of dozens of wounded, once presumed dead, comes as a shock to the rest of the unit below. Doss survives by discovering the network of Japanese tunnels. When day breaks, Doss rescues Howell and the two finally escape Hacksaw under enemy fire. Captain Glover tells Doss that the men have been inspired by his miraculous efforts and that they will not launch the next attack without him. Despite the next day being Doss's Sabbath day, he joins his fellow soldiers after finishing his prayers. With reinforcements, they turn the tide of battle. During an ambush set by Japanese soldiers feigning surrender, Doss manages to save Glover and others by knocking away enemy grenades. Doss is eventually wounded by a grenade blast, but the battle is won. Doss descends the cliff, clutching the Bible Dorothy gave him. After rescuing 75 soldiers at Hacksaw Ridge, Doss is awarded the Medal of Honor by President Harry S. Truman. Doss stayed married to Dorothy until her death in 1991. He died on March 23, 2006, at the age of 87. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to share and subscribe. Chris Kyle, the deadliest sniper in U.S. military history, was raised in Texas after birth. Together with his father, he goes hunting as a child and grows to love his nation. In 1996, he signs up for the U.S. military and is recommended for the Navy SEALs, at the time a relatively unknown branch trained to fight on land, in the sea, and in the air. Kyle makes it through intense physical training, during which he's waterboarded, forced to exercise for hours at a time without rest, and deprived of sleep. Shortly after completing his SEAL training, Kyle is stationed in Long Beach, California, with Team 3 of the Navy SEALs. There, he meets his future wife, Taya. Taya is attracted to Kyle in part because he's unusually humble for a SEAL. At one point, he tells her, "I'd lay down my life for my country." Kyle is stationed in California on September 11, 2001. He's horrified by Al-Qaeda's terrorist atrocities and wants to deploy to the Middle East as soon as possible. In the end, it takes almost 2 years for Kyle to deploy. During this time, Kyle continues to train rigorously for combat. He also marries Taya. Shortly after their honeymoon, Kyle ships out to the Middle East for his first tour. In the Persian Gulf, Kyle works with Team 3 to raid Iraqi oil tankers suspected of sneaking oil out of the country. He finds that he enjoys firing a gun and feels badass in active combat. In spring 2003, Kyle and the rest of Team 3 arrived in Iraq as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom, the operation designed to liberate the Iraqi people from the dictatorship of Saddam Hussein. In Iraq, Kyle's duties include raiding houses, securing oil fields, and fighting small groups of insurgents. He develops a deep hatred for the insurgents, many of whom are fundamentalist Muslims, who are trying to kill him and his friends. Kyle returns from his first deployment and reunites with Taya Kyle. Taya immediately notices that her husband has changed. The war has made him moodier and angrier. While back in the U.S., Kyle attends sniper school and learns how to shoot accurately from incredibly long distances. Kyle is only an average sniper, he admits, but while stationed in Iraq, he has ample opportunity to shoot insurgents. Before shipping back to Iraq, Taya gives birth to their first child, a baby boy. Taya begins to hate Kyle for leaving her to take care of their child. Back in Iraq, Kyle collaborates with the Polish Grom fighters, the counterparts to the SEALs. He raids apartment complexes suspected of harboring insurgents and provides sniper backup for his friends. Kyle finds that he feels little guilt or hesitation about shooting insurgents. He knows he's doing the right thing. On his second deployment, Kyle earns a bronze model for valor. Kyle returns from his second deployment, and Taya finds it even more difficult to talk to him than usual. Kyle struggles with the pace of civilian life and sometimes wakes up screaming in the middle of the night. However, he begins to bond with his child. Taya senses that Kyle is guilty about some of his actions in Iraq, but doesn't want to ask him about what he did. She admires her husband greatly for his service to their country. Kyle returns to Iraq, which has been liberated from Saddam Hussein. The country is full of dangerous insurgents, and Kyle and the SEALs work hard to make the city of Fallujah safe. Kyle also spends a short time near the Euphrates River, where he provides sniper backup for U.S. Marines. Kyle and his platoon are next transferred to the city of Baghdad, where they're tasked with protecting democratic officials as the country prepares for its first elections. Privately, Kyle believes that democracy will never catch on in Iraq. He endures a few minor injuries during his time in Baghdad, but refuses to seek medical attention. He knows that seeing a doctor is a recipe for being sent home. On his third tour, Kyle amasses a huge number of insurgent kills and begins to acquire a reputation as a superb soldier. Back in the U.S. again, Kyle begins to bond with his son. However, he and Taya continue to have marital problems, especially after Taya learns that Chris is planning on re-enlisting in the military. Taya warns Chris that if he does so, she'll know that he values the SEALs more highly than he values his wife and child. Nevertheless, Kyle re-enlists. A few days before Kyle leaves for Iraq, Taya has an emergency C-section and gives birth to their second child, a baby girl. In 2006, back in Iraq, Kyle bonds with some new recruits, including a young, funny SEAL named Ryan Job and an older, charismatic SEAL named Mark Lee. Kyle hazes the new SEALs along with his friends, but comes to consider both Lee and Job good friends. Kyle and his fellow SEALs are deployed to the region of Ramadi to fight insurgents. The SEALs are also tasked with training Iraqi soldiers and police officers. However, Kyle finds this work to be useless, since most Iraqi soldiers and police officers are lazy and undisciplined. Kyle and the SEALs also fight in the Battle of Ramadi, when American troops take over the city. On this tour, Kyle learns that he's acquired the nickname the Devil of Ramadi. Insurgents know that he's a deadly sniper and have put a huge bounty on his life. Nevertheless, Kyle continues with his work, providing backup for the troops and raiding Iraqi houses, which the military quickly converts into bases. One day, Kyle leads a group of SEALs through Ramadi and tells Ryan Job to stand on one side of the street. Because of where he stands, Job is shot in the head by an insurgent, and he ends up losing both eyes. Shortly afterwards, insurgents kill Mark Lee. Kyle is devastated by both tragedies and feels particularly guilty for Job's accident. Then, in September 2006, Kyle learned that his daughter might be dying of leukemia. He decides to go back to the U.S., though he feels guilty for leaving his soldiers behind. Back in the U.S., Kyle learns that his daughter is going to live. He begins drinking heavily and finds that he's suffering from knee injuries he sustained over the course of his last few tours in Iraq. He spends 5 months in physical therapy to ensure that he'll be able to fight in Iraq again. Before leaving for his deployment, Kyle promises Taya that he won't re-enlist after this tour. Kyle is deployed to Sadr City, where he and his fellow SEALs raid houses and fight a group of insurgents called the Mahdi Army. While fighting in Sadr City, Kyle has several brushes with death. One day he's shot in the back, and the force of a bomb throws him to the ground. Violence is escalating in Sadr City, and Kyle tells his superiors that the military needs to fight harder rather than trying to win the hearts and minds of moderate civilians. Much to Kyle's annoyance, his superiors ignore his suggestions. Kyle finally ships out of Iraq in 2008. He's tempted to re-enlist, but ultimately decides not to because of his promise to Taya. Back in the U.S., he reunites with Ryan Job, with whom he remains good friends until Job's tragic death from surgical complications. Kyle also found a shooting school with an old friend. He cuts back on drinking, goes to counseling with Taya, and decides that he wants to remain married to her. Looking back, he decides that his time in the SEALs has made him a stronger, better man.
Ride the beat when you rock the mic. Put your foot on the gas and eat a red light. Ride the beat when you rock the mic. Put your foot on the gas, make a left, go right. Ride the beat when you rock the mic. Put your foot on the gas and eat a red light. Ride rock the mic. Put your foot on the gas, make a left, go right. Ride the beat.